Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Hey, it's Marni Battista, and I am in the delicious dating den, and I have a fabulous co-host, Corey Jenkins. Woo!
Happy to be here.
I love having you in the den. You're so smart.
Wow, I will take that as a compliment.
And you're so cute.
Wow, I'll take that also as a compliment. Thank you.
And what I love about Corey is that he takes the questions that all the other co-hosts don't want. They're like, no. And Corey's like, yes.
I do.
This
I'm a
is
little
my
serious.
jam. I love it.
This is my jam.
This
I like
is
that.
your jam. So we recently launched our book, Becoming Irresistible.
Yes, I was going to ask you about this.
So we wrote this book, and it really teaches women the 3 keys to being not just irresistible to get one date, but to really keep the juju going. How to get a guy to pursue you, to adore you, to fall in love with you, and commit. So as part of that, we were like, hey ladies, what are your biggest questions? And I love, we got this question from Estelle, and it was really heartfelt. So you're the perfect guy to answer it. And she was sharing, she didn't have a great childhood. She's had some kind of crappy ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, a lot of hurt. And I think her question really reflects what a lot of people are too afraid to ask, which is, I've had some really bad stuff. How can I ever trust men again?
This is such an important question.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do what I do, which is I'm going to take it pretty seriously because I think it is serious. And number one, I love how she asked the question. How can I trust men? What I'm not hearing her say is, men have screwed up and I'm having a hard time trusting them. She's saying, how do I trust men? And I think it's relevant in multiple cases because I'll admit, number one, I have been a man who has broken a woman's trust and has had to rebuild it. And I have also been in relationships with women where I was completely trustworthy, but their past has impeded them from trusting me. And it's very difficult because as a man, I'm not going to be in a relationship for very long without her trusting me. So that's a long way of saying, thank you for asking the question. The awareness that you don't trust men is really the first place to start.
I think that's great, and I will take it and hopefully we can talk about both a little bit. I also feel like when you don't trust men, you don't trust yourself.
Usually it is a projection. That's
right, because you're like, I've always had a broken picker, and so I don't trust myself and I don't trust people, and then I project that on to men. So I think that I just want to point that out so that you can kind of look at both angles as we sort of talk about it today.
Yeah, and so I think the first thing that I will say is, number one, so if you have the awareness, which you do, that's the first place to start. I think the 2 other things that are really, really helpful, and again, I don't mean to be too serious, but I like providing value, so that's what I'm doing here, is one, you need to try out different things in your relationship in order to be building trust. So it's going to be hard to build it back if you're not participating in some level of relationship.
I love that. So you can't just be like, I don't trust men, so I'm not even going to try.
Right. Or the other thing you can't do is just see a therapist or a coach. I think it's great to do that, and I think that should complement it. But philosophy and mental education is one thing. Existential experience, or that is a synonym for experience, is critical as well. You can't just read a book and then have a life experience. So
awesome. So you have to actually get out and start dating and start being in the mix.
Yeah, and look at those things. I mean, what caused you to not trust men? Is it because only you've had poor dating relationships, or does this go back to childhood? Does this go back to something with your father? I don't mean to be all Freud on you, but those things are relevant and they show up in relationships.
I think that it's a lot of women say, oh, I did that in therapy or whatever, but what I think is interesting is that you might have done it for X, Y, and Z, but did you really look at how you learned these messages about yourself or these stories, and now you're, carrying it on? I think a lot of women are trying, and this is really deep, and I'm going to go there with you. We're trying to get the love from our dad, or we're trying to get some other thing resolved from childhood. That's impossible. And what I love to tell women is that if you have childhood needs, they will always supersede your adult wants. So unless you resolve your childhood needs, which is with a professional, especially if it's from childhood, it's really hard, no matter how hard you try or how much you read, to actually get that resolved. So I think that's an important thing.
And this is really an important topic too, because I know we're not going to go all the way into talking about trust, but I am going to take a moment to say that to me, trust is something that absolutely needs to be there to have a successful long-term relationship. And trust doesn't just happen. Trust is it's this little living thing that continues to be nurtured throughout a relationship. And it's really a heartfelt subject for me because, again, I admitted at the beginning of this video that I have broken trust before. And a lot of times I did that really before I was grown up enough to know that I wanted to be in a relationship that really had honesty as a foundation. So for me to then go and make amends in those situations sometimes has created an opportunity to continue the relationship. And there's been other times where a woman has said to me, this is a deal breaker, Corey. The fact that we have this in our past does not allow me to participate with you anymore. But what I will tell you is that even if it doesn't lead to the success of the relationship, it all comes back to your philosophy. It's still with dignity.
Right.
And I believe that even if a relationship were to not make it, you as a person will develop in a way that you will become super strong for whatever partner shows up in the future.
And I want to just jump out. I really admire you for, being so courageous to tell, your own story, because here's what I would say is if you look back at all the men who sort of done you wrong, look at that was them and that was the past. So this guy changed. Guys man-volve. We all man-volve. So is it really fair to hold the experience that someone had in their own evolution against all men? Right? It's sort of not fair. So you have to look at, I call them like limiting beliefs or assumptions, like if it happened, so therefore it must happen again. And I would just say, why must it? Like, why are all men not trustworthy? They can be. So you have to really look at where did you learn that men weren't trustworthy and say, am I willing to draw a line in the sand? And here's something that's interesting. What if you start going out there and dating and saying he's innocent until proven guilty versus guilty until proven innocent?
I think another way to say that is create a new present conversation versus operating in your relationship based on an old conversation, whether this is with a person who there has been legitimate trust issues with, or whether it's a brand new person. Separate your present experience from the past experience, and that's the best you're going to get at trying to trust men again.
Right, and the last thing I'll say is I would say there's 3 steps, and if I could teach them in a 5 or 10 minute video, I would, but I can't. So you probably want to download the book, Becoming Irresistible, that's above Corey's head. But there's 3 things that need to go into breaking a pattern, right? Number 1, reveal what it is, where you learned it, what it costs you, why you're unconsciously doing it again and again. You have to release it once and for all and for the last time. And the third thing is rejuvenate, which is really like, then how do you date as if that never happened to you? So for you, reveal, release, rejuvenate, and date.
That's a good combination.
Sounds good?
Yep, sounds really good.
So if you want more of the serious yet humorous and handsome, thought-provoking Corey Jenkins, go to your website, which is CoreyLJenkins.com. Right. And what does the L stand for?
It stands for Lynn, which interestingly enough is the end of my mom's first name, Carolyn. So it's Corey, Coreyl, Jenkins.com.
My middle name's Lynn, too.
Really?
High five.
Wow, that's interesting. We didn't even know that.
We didn't even know it. Oh my God. Okay, so CoreyLJenkins.com, or you can find him on Facebook. He's got cool conversations going on there. Facebook.com/Corey Jenkins. And you can find me, Little Marni Battista, at datingwithdignity.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at datingwithdignity. And with that, I would say thank you for bringing your amazingness.
It's my pleasure.
He's single, by the way.
I love doing this.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, it's Marni Battista, and thanks so much for watching The Dating Den. If you want to become a binge watcher, which I highly recommend, subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the latest dating tips, and get a whole community of women who are doing the Dating Den thing by sharing this video with your friends. I have a free gift for you for watching The Dating Den, and that is our book, Becoming Irresistible. You'll learn how to get a man to pursue you, adore you, and commit to you for life. So click the link below and get started on your journey to find love now.